Now at 11, the opioid crisis hits home for parents in Beaverton. Overdoses lead to the sudden death of several students. It's a problem on the rise with new warnings about counterfeit pills. And later,
people kind of walk in and they're like, how did I not know about this? Take a bunch of pictures.
We'll take a trip to Rainbow City. The creative event space is back open for artists and for you to snag a selfie. But first,
the one thing that this event hopes to inspire is a greater appreciation for what we have here in Portland, Oregon.
The city of Portland has an image problem, and a collective of concerned citizens wants change. Your news starts right now.
This is KGW News at 11.
A state of emergency continues for the city of Portland until noon tomorrow. Mayor Ted Wheeler put it in place before the verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial, before it was read this week. The former police officer was convicted in the murder of George Floyd. Last night and tonight, the streets of Portland were clear of violence after demonstrators damaged businesses in Northwest Portland Friday. Today in Portland's living room, Pioneer Courthouse Square, an event called attention to the troubles downtown. The music and positive words, a sharp contrast to recent destruction. Here's Christelle Kumwe.
After a year of unrest, violence, and destruction in downtown Portland, one group is on a mission to change the narrative. It don't always feel good, it don't always look right, but I choose love.
Obviously, the need for change was clear because what we had wasn't working for all.
Ray Leary is the co-founder of I Choose Love, a collective of concerned citizens who came together last year. The organization believes peaceful assembly is the hallmark of social justice.
We realize that our nation and our city and our communities are in deep need of a transformative healing. And toward that end, we have created programs along those lines.
Programs like youth camps in partnership with first responders. But the group also organizes events like this. A concert in Pioneer Square to encourage Portlanders to get out and rediscover their city.
We would like to inspire a more inclusive and a more representative downtown of our community in a way that promotes a safe place to be.
Love is patient, unconditional. Gospel singers, the Brown Sisters, offer their talents to the movement.
It feels wonderful to be a part and be a changing agent, spreading a message that if people can catch it and live it and choose it, woo, we're gonna have a good place, y'all, a beautiful place.
Their message is simple: choose love to bring the community together and heal the city.
With goodwill and a pursuit of love toward our fellow man, it automatically morphs into our city, and we become a better community.
I Choose Love is in talks with state officials, but Leary says transformative change starts right here, reaching out to the people of Portland.
So that's what we're looking forward to, engaging our elected officials further in new other opportunities to join I Choose Love in promoting unity and peace and public safety in our communities.
Christelle Kumwe, KGW News.
I Choose Love organized the event along with Portland Fire and Rescue and local church groups. We have more information about the organization on our website at kgw.com. After more than a week-long pause, Oregon and Washington will resume giving the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The vaccine was stopped because of rare but deadly blood clots developed in at least 15 people. 3 of those patients died. However, scientists say the vaccine is safe and the risks of the clots is less than the risk of getting hospitalized with COVID. Vaccinefinder.org shows most pharmacies are still not offering it, but Fred Meyer, QFC, and Rite Aid in Portland and Vancouver do. Some advocates for people who are homeless believe this will help get more people inoculated faster.
Because it would be extremely challenging with the community that we serve to get them back in 3 or 4 weeks.
Before Johnson & Johnson's pause, Blanchet House was planning a mass vaccination site similar to how they roll out flu shots. That's what those pictures are from. They say planning has resumed to make that happen soon. A quick look now at new virus numbers here in Oregon. The state is reporting 780 new and presumptive coronavirus cases across the state and 1 new death. The number of hospitalizations is around 291, which is 4 fewer than yesterday. On the vaccine front, Oregon administered more than 25,000 doses yesterday. Meanwhile, a restaurant in southern Oregon is facing a big fine for COVID violations and allegedly willfully exposing workers to the virus. According to the Oregon Department of Consumer and Business Services, Casey's restaurant in Klamath Falls is falling short of workplace safety standards. The division cited the restaurant more than $27,000 following an inspection. It claims they were not adhering to the capacity of indoor dining in an extreme risk county. This is the second time the business has been cited for failing to take steps to protect workers. A warning in the growing opioid crisis. Fake pills laced with fentanyl are leading to deadly drug overdoses across the metro. Our Mike Benner heard from those hit by the pandemic, and that includes people connected to a local school district.
The last 18 months have rocked the Beaverton School District to its core. Superintendent Don Grotting says drugs and overdoses have led to the sudden deaths of several students.
Teenagers who had hopes and dreams and plans. These teenagers had families who loved them and are still coming to grips with their losses.
These families' unimaginable pain is beyond upsetting to local law enforcement and health officials, but sadly not surprising. Tri-County Health Officer Dr. Jennifer Vines.
We are seeing an increase in fatal drug overdoses across the metro region, mirroring national trends. We believe counterfeit opioid pills containing fentanyl are driving this trend.
Dr. Vines says fentanyl is a man-made version of morphine, only much stronger, and the smallest amount can be deadly.
Anyone who gets pills from anywhere other than a pharmacy should assume that they are counterfeit and contain deadly amounts of fentanyl.
So just how dire is it in the Portland metro area? KGW has learned that so far this year, the West Side Interagency Narcotics Team in Washington County has investigated 14 overdose deaths. 10 of those are suspected of being caused by counterfeit prescription drugs containing fentanyl.
In the same time frame, 2020, we had investigated 3. In 2019, in that same time frame, we had only investigated 1.
Another indication of just how bad it is, in 2019, law enforcement in Oregon seized 79,000 fentanyl pills. In 2020, they seized more than 700,000 fentanyl pills, many of which were counterfeit.
They're sold on the street for as little as $10 to $15. It's incredibly potent and dangerous.
That's devastatingly clear in the Beaverton School District. Superintendent Don Grotting is begging parents to get educated and talk to their kids now.
It very well could be a conversation that saves their lives. This is truly an epidemic and we need to get ahead of it.
On Thursday, the Beaverton School District will be hosting a virtual community conversation about fentanyl. Among the scheduled speakers, a husband and wife who lost their son to suspected fentanyl poisoning in December. This conversation is sure to be heart-wrenching, but it is so important. You can find more information on our website, kgw.com. I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
The Washington State Legislature just wrapped up its annual session tonight, but not before making some changes to the state's laws and spending. For instance, lawmakers passed a 7% capital gains tax on profits above $250,000 from the sale of stocks and other high-value assets. The tax includes exemptions for all real estate, retirement accounts, livestock, agricultural land, fishing privileges, family-owned businesses, and more. The funds will be used to invest in K-12 education. They also passed the Climate Commitment Act, which will eventually establish carbon pricing and cap greenhouse gas emissions. Governor Jay Inslee called the session historic.
It has been the most innovative, having produced unprecedented and legacy-making advances as all-encompassing as any legislative session in the last 25 years. Washingtonians received progress on climate, progress on equity, progress on our tax system, and progress protecting our workers and families, and more.
State lawmakers also approved a drug reform bill, changes to policing in the state, among other things. For a full list of everything they passed, just head over to our website, kgw.com.